Hello. I'm going to answer option C for Pascal. Firstly, I just want to say that this stance is Pascal's stance is so interesting. I was just reading through it, and although a lot of it, Miss Leon, Professor Leon, had said in the beginning about people making very good arguments, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it is true. It felt like I could connect with every single part of it until you really go back to break it down. Whenever first introduces the fact that you gain it all if you're right and you believe, and you can only have one thing to lose, and that's you being wrong if you believe and you're wrong. But the way that he writes about it is so beautiful. And whenever he says that there is an infinity of infinitely happy lives to gain, and if you don't believe and you're wrong, then the opposite of that would be that you are missing out, or you are gaining an infinity of infinitely unhappy lives, which, I mean, it makes the decision seem easy. But going into this question, that if we lose nothing. Okay, so if we lose, that would mean that if we believe and we lose, it would mean that there is no God, there is no afterlife, right? So that this earthly living would be all that we have. So in that sense, there is something to lose there, because in Christianity, in Western tradition, believing in God comes with a set of moral rules that don't necessarily align with the instant gratification and the inherently corrupt side of us would agree with. Having to give up things that some people like, indulgences, and something like premarital sex, for example. Like, if you are living 100% to the values of Christianity, that is a big thing in our culture that you are giving up in the trade-off of faith in a God. So that would be, I think, the weight of believing in God and being wrong. Does believing in God, if God doesn't exist, really carry no cost? Yeah. Is this actually having faith? Well, is this actually having faith? I mean, if you are doing the things to give up your indulgences and give up your inherent evil corruptness in your mind to have the faith, then yes. But if it's just like I think that if you're living your life and not basing your life in the moral standards of Western belief in God, then not necessarily, because I don't know how to say this. I think the faith part is not just saying, yeah, there's a God. There's multiple steps that are involved in that. Okay. Is Pascal's assertion that nothing is lost and everything is gained actually true? Although it is a very good argument and really had me at first. After breaking it down, I don't necessarily think that that is the case, because of what I was saying before, that I don't think that there's nothing lost. In order to truly have faith in something that requires you to live your life a certain way, then there is something lost in theory, and that is the life that you could live if you did not follow these moral standards. The fact that you have everything to gain, yes, I do believe is true, because as he said, you have an infinity of infinitely happy lives to gain if you're right in that. So I think for him to say that nothing is lost would not completely be correct, but I still think that the wage that you have in and the risk that you take of gain and loss, the gain outweighs the loss, because the loss that you have, that I'm saying that you have to live by these moral standards, will actually, I mean, theoretically, for most people, I believe, will allow you to have a more full life. So, yes, there is something that could be lost, but depending on the way that you are as a person and your moral standards are as a person, that loss cannot be seen as a loss. It could be seen as a gain. Yes, I hope that is a complete enough answer. So